Thanks so much, Susan. As you quite rightly point out, this is a parliamentary vote that was called a year early, basically because the authorities here in Catalonia got sick of waiting, I think, for the central government in Spain to negotiate. So, as you quite rightly point out, it's a quasi-referendum on future independence. Now, I think the key point to make here is that the Catalonian president, Artur Mas, is not hiding the fact that if his Together for Yes coalition make a majority here, or get a majority in Parliament, not votes, parliamentary seats, and this could be important, then it will kick off the process of establishing an independent state here in Catalonia. Now, at this point, I need to couch it a bit. One of the things that came from my interview with the President yesterday was the fact that he keeps reiterating the need to negotiate, that this will not be a messy divorce situation, it will be about a negotiation. This vote is hopefully going to provide leverage, I think, for the region in order to go to the central government and say, look, something needs to be done here. Now, the push that we've seen here has concerned big business. Some of the big banks, the likes of Sabadell, Lacacia, have come out and said, look, in a worst-case scenario, separation, they may have to shift their headquarters. When I spoke to President Mas, I asked him if he understands the bank's concerns, or does he see this as threats? Listen in.
Yes, these are threats. We think that these kind of attitudes are based on the pressure that the Spanish government is putting on these kind of financial institutions. In fact, the Catalan economy is a dynamic one, a modern one, so I'm sure that no one financial institutions would like to go out of the Catalan market. It would be crazy for them. This is a very important market for the Spanish Spanish financial institutions, but also for other multinational companies. We have more than 5,000 multinational companies with branches, investments, factories in Catalonia. Probably it is a more open economy in Southern Europe. So what would be the reason to abandon such a market? I think that this belongs to this idea of a scaremongering attitude and campaign from the central government.
The central bank governor went further. He said that the banks have a valid concern about losing access to the euro system, to euros, and that there is a risk of capital controls. He subsequently come out and said, actually, hold on a second, capital controls would likely be impossible.
This is not a realistic situation, and they know that for certain, because who are the owners of the Catalan and the Spanish debts? The markets. Do you think that the markets are going to allow Spain and the European Union to send Catalonia out of the euro and the European Union? Because the markets want stability. They want to be secure, and they are the owners. So it would be absolutely crazy a scenario of Catalonia out of the euro.
Do you see that as a deliberate attempt by the central bank governor again to try and influence this vote?
Yeah, I'm sure. And if you listen to the new words of the new opinion of the central governor, you will realize that in fact he knows that he was mistaken when he said that, and now he's saying different things, because well, the role of central government is not to create an alarm to the markets and to the people.
Should he resign?
Yes, I think so. In a normal situation, he should resign.
The Catalan president there, Artur Mas, calling for the Spanish central bank governor to resign over comments threatening the prospect of capital controls in the event of a separation, but then coming back and effectively U-turning and saying actually that would probably be an impossible thing to do and to impose on the Catalonia region. interesting debate set to continue at this stage, but my sense really was what would end this brinkmanship is allowing the Catalonia region to have a legitimate referendum. The question is, do we ever see the central government in Spain backing down to that point, which would of course require constitutional change? Guys, I'll hand back to you.
Yeah, let's just clarify this for a moment, because I think all this is pretty complicated, and I think you would agree on that point. Look, so what if the pro-independent parties do pretty well in the elections over the weekend? Does it automatically independence? No, it doesn't, right? So what are the next steps then?
So assuming that the Together for Yes actually get a seat majority in Parliament, then they're saying that will then kick off an 18-month timetable where they'll put a number of measures in place. They'll start the process that leads towards declaring independence. So they understand that there's a lot of work to achieve. Now, if they don't get a majority, the poll suggests that they're just going to be slightly short. They could tie up with a far-left party to try and pull in further seats in Parliament. So first problem there is you've got what likely to be an unstable coalition of sorts, a centre-left, a centre-right, and a far-left, who are not that keen on President Mas in actual fact continuing to lead in the region, which is an initial problem. The other thing is, just because they win a majority of votes doesn't mean they win a majority of votes. So even if they get seats, they might not get the majority of Catalans voting for independence. So this is another huge sticking point. The president has said, look, if we could hold a referendum, we would be able to judge the votes accurately, but we can't. We have to go for electoral seats. So there's a whole host of complications here going forward, Cal, and you're quite right, it is very complicated. What we need to watch on Sunday night and on Monday morning is percentage of seats that they get in Parliament and also the percentage of votes, because these things are both going to be crucial. Back to you.
All right, Julia, thank you so much for clarifying all that. Meantime, want to get back to the Norges Bank decision.